we're back.
Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
Good. Ready whenever you are, my dear.
All right. So generally when I start a reading, I use your numerology, basic numerology. I mean, this could go, like all of these disciplines, you could write a book. If I do a formal numerology on you, you'd get a volume this big. But we're just using two numbers. We're using your birth energy and your year energy. And the reason for that is your birth energy tells me the tools that you have to bring to the table, your strengths, your weaknesses. Sometimes it can tell us about our past lives, past life connections. And then our year vibration, which goes from one birthday to the next. So for instance, you have a birthday on 1/17/2017 was your last birthday, but you'll shift into a new transit on 2018. And that year transit, birthday to birthday, is your personal year. It's what the universe wants you to learn or wants you to develop. And if we're objective, we can see that in any given year, there are like themes. They're like something repeats over and over and over again in various ways. So until we get it, and until we grow, and this is what fosters our soul growth. So it's helpful to know what these are in a reading. And then the other piece, the other reason it's helpful is when I do the reading with the cards, if these numbers start showing up in significant places, they're like markers. They're like road markers on our soul map saying you're in the right ballpark or you're going in the right direction.
Oh, nice.
It's a confirmation. So that's why this is invaluable. This is one of the reasons numerology is a tool I like to integrate into my holistic tarot. So you came here with a question. Now, would you care to repeat that question? Or is it something?
No, it's fine. So as I explained a little bit before, there's a situation in my life where that my husband is a walk-in. And the soul that came to walk in is not 100% incorporated yet. Although he has been given permission from the other side to remember all of this and the contracts and the negotiation. I'm just kind of wondering where we are in that particular plan, I guess.
In that process. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you previously gave me your birthday and his birthday. Now his birth energy is seen in a card, the Lovers, which is the number 6. The Lovers is not just about personal relationship. It's about all our relationships. So how we relate to ourselves, then our significant other, then our family and our friends, going out, see it in concentric circles. So the primary lesson of someone born under a 6 is to learn through relationship. 6 is a type of energy that seeks its soulmate. It is looking for its soulmate and wants to connect to its soulmate. And part of this process of relationship is that your soulmate, you can have many soulmates. You've been on this planet countless lifetimes. Your soulmate could be the little newborn baby that someone just had, or an old grandma down the street, as well as your significant other. So, so our soulmates exist around us, and there are these meaningful connections that Jay, that was his name, right? Had been forming both on this plane and in previous lifetimes and beyond. Now, what is significant to me in asking your question is, given the time he passed, the date you gave me, every date has an energetic significator. And at that point in time, he was in a 5. A 5 energy is about spiritual commitment. It is going back to the source. It is about walking your talk with God or whomever you believe in. And it would literally translate, and we'll see if this holds true in the cards, but it would literally say, at that juncture in time, he was making a commitment to the God he believed in, to have that sacred contract sort of took precedence over the physical contract he was experiencing here on the earth plane with those he loved.
And which date is this, Cris?
That's the date you gave me, the 7/28/2013.
Oh, that his walk-in date, yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Now, for you, my dear lady, your birth energy is the number 7. 7 is an energy in the tarot. It's the card of choice. It's the Chariot. And literally, it means how we choose to drive that chariot, or if we choose not to, that's our free will. The image is usually of someone in a chariot and they're 2 beasts or 2 horses, 2 different colors, black and white or whatever, going in 2 different directions. And the driver looks like they don't care. They're playing a harp, they're hanging out, and they're giving it over to God. Okay? So, that's the imagery. And he could easily pick up the reins and steer the craft, or his other choice is to leave it over to God, the angels. Now, a person is born under this vibration. They are born with angels in attendance. So you have a pantheon of spiritual beings that are around you all the time, and that you can draw upon their strength. They're like your sacred army.
I call it my posse.
There you go, see? So you can call upon them to do the work. Archangel Michael, take away this obstacle, for instance. Archangel Haniel, help me with my love life. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you have those angels around you. Okay, so now, we always have good news, bad news, and everything. There's always 2 sides. The little detriment to being born under that 7 is because you trust your angels so much, and because they're always working for you, and generally everything's all good, right? Without even trying. You get a little lazy. You could sort of go, well, I don't have to worry about that right now, or I can leave it over to that. And really, if there is a soul purpose, a life lesson, it's for you to learn how to choose from your heart and be the author of your destiny with the help of that posse, but not just give it over to the posse and go la-di-da, okay?
Yeah.
So your year vibration, and this is very interesting given the work you're doing right now. This past year, 1/17/2017, to the coming year, 1/17/2018, you have been involved in a 10-1 vibration. And that 10-1 is it's a transit. It's the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. So the Wheel of Fortune is literally a revolving door. This has been a year of accomplishment. This has been a year of deciding. And once you decide and you put your foot on the path, the doing's effortless. It's knowing what you want. It's an energy of manifestation. And as the magician, as long as you stay focused on your goal, and it can be a short-term goal, it can be a long-term goal, but as long as you stay focused on that goal, you're going to accomplish everything you set out to accomplish. This is, let's leave the past behind. Let's chart a course for the next decade of our lives.
That's exactly what has happened this year.
Yeah. So as you come into your next birthday, a couple of things. You're moving into an 11 and a 2 year. 11 is justice. 2 is the high priestess. So in an 11 year, you may have some legal considerations. So, you should have an accountant and a lawyer and all that stuff. Make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's, sign on the dotted line, have all the contracts sorted. That's the sort of thing, okay? And if you have any legal issues that are pending, like say you had a lawsuit or something, it would be in your favor. If you initiated any legal action during this year, 9 times out of 10, it'd favor you. So no big deal. Yeah. You can get that parking ticket revoked. On a bigger stage, though, the Justice card is about reciprocity. It's about give and take. You see the scales of justice weighing things out, but really they're about exchange. So what you're putting out in the world or what you're putting out personally has to come back to you. And if it's not coming back to you equally, we've got a problem. Okay? So it's about fairness. It's about justice. And yes, would you be a little bit more aware and aligned with causes that are about justice and fairness in the world? Sure. Because again, everything works as a hologram. It goes from us personally into the world as a whole and out into the universe.
Right.
The two aspect is also important. It's the high priestess. And what that means is you are going to be open much more than usual. I mean, you're already sensitive. I can tell by your aura. Your aura is very, very green, sweetie, despite that blue and white background. And it shows me that you come from the heart center. And, so you're an intuitive and you're a sensitive. Well, your dreams are going to be jam-packed. You are going to be getting mega information from beyond.
Oh,
in
yay.
dream times through symbols, signals, events, synchronicities, you name it, however you like to communicate with the universe. So that whole area of your life is going to expand. So you may want a little guidance on that at some point in time. Okay, well, let's get back to your question. So we want to know where Jay is in this process, in this journey. And I have about 50 different decks of cards that I use interchangeably.
Including your own.
Including my own. I'm using my the Mass Tarot at the moment. But I do go back and forth between angel cards and goddess oracles and blah, 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 because that's how I roll.
That's how you roll.
Okay. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Six of Wands reversed. Now, 6 is going to figure predominantly because we already know that Jay's birth energy is a 6. I'm explaining this. I wouldn't go into this much detail, but I just figured it would help.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay, and the challenge is the 8 of Swords, which crosses it. And what that literally means is there is still atonement. There is still a process where he's still just somehow captured on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the 8 of Swords. Okay, so the 8 of Cups, which is in the area of the mind, indicates that okay. The feeling I get when I look at this card is, again, I hear atonement. I hear, the dues that you have to pay, the writing, the correcting, the balancing that one has to do is still being done. Okay? And then we have the Hermit reversed. Okay, the Hermit, when we see the Hermit is about our life lessons. So depending on what culture you're in, you could say that there has been a massive review, okay? That he has been going through a massive review of his past life, most previous, and other lives, and been in that school, okay? Because the Hermit is about learning. Yeah. It's about enlightenment. It's about shedding light on the dark places and bringing everything into the realm of light. So my feeling looking at this is, I'm doing a Celtic spread, and this first series of cards feels to me that he's still in the process of going through his spiritual soul lessons and putting things in their place. Okay. All right. 7 of Wands reversed in the past. He was released from, when he left this earth plane, it was a relief because he was released from, I feel like a sensory overload. I feel like everything shut down. Everything was closing in. And it was liberation. Okay? And we have, now, do you have a child? Do you share?
I have 3 boys.
3 boys. And one was more affected, would you say?
Affected of what? From what?
By this passing, by this.
Oh, no, none of them, no. This passing happened before the children.
All right, all
Yeah.
right. So, okay, let me see, because this is a person. Okay. Okay, there's a child yet to be born into your family. And these two souls are connected. I'm not sure at this point yet whether he will choose to come in through that child. Is there anyone pregnant around you at this point? Someone relative,
The wife of a nephew, that's about it.
wife of a nephew?
But
Next year?
next year.
Okay. I would watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the decision is not yet made, but there is a birth that's associated with your family that the soul may come in. Now, the other thing I tell my clients, you don't have to believe my lexicon. If you don't believe in reincarnation, that's okay.
Yeah.
But let's at least participate in that language. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm all about it. I'm good.
Some people aren't, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, of course.
So the run, we're starting off with I think, a very good card. The Nine of Swords reverse says tears are coming to an end. There's no need for tears. There's no need for sadness. Tears are coming to an end. Oh, winter solstice, which is coming up very, very soon. This is an important marker. This is a timing marker. This is falling in the area of one's environment. Either you are going to get some sort of major communication about this. Yes, at that juncture, a door is opening. Definitely a dimension door opening, and you're going to have an answer. I turned that off, I'm so sorry. I would highly, highly recommend doing meditation at that time.
Okay.
Okay? And opening that door consciously. Because the timing is going to be perfect. We have temperance here, which is and I really apologize, I turned that stupid thing off. Mercury is in retrograde.
It sure is.
Okay. But when we look at temperance is about synchronicity. Everything happens at the right time. There's an old Native American saying, you can't push the corn. We can yearn for something. We may want it deeply, but sometimes we just have to wait for things to align. And like I said, dimension door is opening. The timing is perfect. And you're ready to go through there and really access powerful, powerful information.
And this is me personally.
Yes, you personally do.
What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing.
Okay, and this is confirming that because your primary significator is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, what this means, when I do the cards, there are 4 elements, okay? The earth, air, fire, and water in the tarot. And the court cards are significators. They generally speak to people in our lives or aspects of ourselves. And just like in Reiki, you want all your chakras to be aligned. Well, ideally in tarot and spiritual pursuits, we want all our elements to be aligned, but we favor certain elements at different times.
Yeah.
So here we have your aspect. The strongest aspect in regards to your question is the Queen of Pentacles, and this is an earth energy. And what this means is that you have your feet fully on the ground, you're practical, you're aware, you can work in this world very, very well. But we've already seen that you're going to be receiving information from divine source, and you need to channel that information, and then you're going to take it out into the world in a practical way, either as a teacher, as a writer, you're going to express it. It just doesn't sit up there doing nothing.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
You know? So you're very, very, very strong. So where is he in his process? Again, I'm going to go back to numerology. The energies that are around his energetic. 15-4. Okay. At this point in time, it's a 13-4. 13-4 is about coalescing in a physical form. Okay, thank you. So my guides are saying that's why we were talking about that baby. Coalescing in a physical form. It is very, very likely that that soul will show up here with that baby.
Okay, what soul?
The soul of Jay, the energetic.
Okay, so the walk-in has happened. He's already in that body. So where does the baby come in?
The baby is, let me just take one more look.
Yeah, I know it's confusing.
No. Hold on. Because here's our, remember we talked about the 5, the Hierophant. Okay. Minds meld. Okay. Minds and souls, I mean, it's a hologram. Energy transfers. Energy is on the move. There's a mind link. There is like how I want to say it is that child will grow to express the belief system, the core belief system, okay, that is emanating from Jay.
Oh.
Okay? Like a twin soul.
Lucky devil. Very cool.
Like a twin soul.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when it would be complete, I would say by the end of this year. I would say definitely by the end of 2018.
The part of Jay waking up in the body he's in.
Yes. Because again, we have this transition and sort of a coalescing of life lesson, of everything, like the soul information, the soul memory is coalescing.
Mm-hmm.
And then once all those pieces fall into place and the atonement is done, then he emerges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been 7 years, so it's quite a process.
And 7 years is again, it's your number. It's the number of angels.
Oh, right.
Okay. It's the number of blessings and good fortunes and choices. Because again, we all choose. Yeah. You don't have to do it unless you want to.
Right.
So you're given an opportunity doesn't mean you have to do it.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Now, does that help you, or is there something you need to make it more clear, or?
No, not really. I know when I say that, like, when will he be awake and aware? That's really the piece where he knows that this has happened. He knows that he has had this journey. But it does make sense that he has to come to grips, if you will, with everything he has to learn. And I know the process that he's having right now in that body, the cellular memory and all that he's overriding. But
yeah. And it can be an overwhelming process. And that's why you can utilize these tools. You can go into spiritual astrology and look at the interface of all the planets. I like to think of it as a dinner party at Downton Abbey, just for fun. You've got a big, huge round dinner table and 12 guests and a couple of spares because that's your north and south node. And you want to see how these guests talk to each other. How do they affect each other? That has a lot to do with how we develop. The numbers are the same way. The numerology is the same way. It gives us those same clues to your personal map, your personal soul map. How do we interact? How are we going to take the tools and use them to the best of our ability? And which ones do we use when? You know? So the questions one poses, how do you pose those questions? What do you really want? That's where the deep listening comes in.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes we just blurt out something. It's not really what we want to know.
Right.
So it's about clarity. It's about finding clarity, and it's a journey.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful journey. Wow. Well, I got a lot to think about, and I love the idea of opening up and more information and channel. I love the thought of that. That's great.
Well, I hope it helped.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Cris.
Good.
All right. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, Carolyn.
Thank you.